welcome to the stage, Andrew Wegleitner.
So I was hanging out with my nephew recently, and we were watching this show with this guy, Blippi. I don't know if you guys are familiar or not, but it's this kid's show. It's this guy, he's got like orange suspenders, orange bow tie, orange glasses, big puffy orange hat, and he's like the most annoying motherfucker you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, this is literally his show, it's just this. I have one Red Bull! I have 2 green trucks! And I go to my nephew, I'm like, man, this guy's a real goofball, huh? And he goes, I thought you'd like this because you're a comedian. Really? Even my nephew is coming at me with this comedian shit now? Oh, you do stand-up? You gotta check out my guy Blippi on YouTube. I think you guys would have really similar styles. My nephew's cool. He's learning how to swear, but he doesn't quite have it down yet. The other day, he told me to fart my penis off. I was like, I don't know what that means or how to do that. He's like, you just put your penis by your butt and you fart your penis off. What's so hard about that for you to understand, Uncle Andy? We were having dinner recently and he asked me, why do you always work at restaurants? Because I drank a lot in college. Mind your own fucking business. I like to eat mushrooms, but I never have time. You know? Because you can't eat mushrooms and then the next morning you gotta go wait tables for some annoying customers sitting there. Excuse me, sir, I ordered tater tots and you brought me French fries. It's like, listen, last night I tasted the essence of the universe, okay? I'm not concerned with the shape of your potatoes. That's why I just smoke weed before work, because then when they say that, I'm like, you're right, tater tots do sound better. One time I had this customer come in and they go, excuse me, sir, can you come here for a second? Yeah, hi. I worked in the catering business for 25 years, and this is the worst grilled cheese sandwich I've ever seen. I'm like, you ordered that off the children's menu. You paid $4. Also, grilled cheese sandwich? What kind of hillbilly weddings are you catering? The only customers who come into my restaurant who I hate more than adults who order food off the children's menu are children. But the only good thing about when kids come in is that after they leave, I get to tear up the stupid pictures that they colored. Throw them in the garbage can. I like to fantasize that they're watching me and crying while I do it. People never say you're welcome. That bothers me. Like when you say thank you to somebody, they're supposed to say you're welcome, but they never do that. What do? You say thank you, and they go, thank you? It's like, fuck off. I thanked you first. I'm the thanker. You're the thankee. That means I'm welcome. If you wanted to be welcome, you should have thanked me first. One time I walked into a coffee shop and I took a shit and I left without buying anything, and as I was walking out the door, they were like, thank you. I was like, you're welcome. Plenty more where that came from. I had a couple come in 7 a.m. right after we unlocked the doors, and they asked if the two of them could both share 1 bottomless mimosa. No. You can't share infinity. Are you insane? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And the one of them didn't even have her ID. She's like, I have a picture of my ID on my phone. Will that work? I was like, I have a picture of my dick on my phone. But that's not going to get me any drinks either. All right, so I have a question for you all. When you eat at home, do you like to put your plate of food on top of your phone while you eat? What about like when you go to a restaurant? Do you like to put your plate on top of your phone when you eat at a restaurant?
No.
Huh. I was just wondering, because like if that's the case, then how come when I bring your food to your table, why don't you move your phone out of the way so I can set your fucking plate down? Oh, actually, she had the salmon Benedict. I don't fucking ordered it! It's not the point! You can just set that in the middle, actually. We're sharing it. No, I can't! You need to move your shit! But like, my favorite part about bringing people their food at the restaurant is like, every once in a while, I get to interrupt them while they're saying grace. It's the best, dude. I love it. They're just sitting there like head bowed, eyes closed, holding hands. Dear Lord, we're so grateful to be here together today, and we just want to thank you so much for the blueberry pancakes. I used to work at a pizza place, and the owner of the restaurant was working in the kitchen with us, and my buddy and I were just kind of like joking around and, you know, laughing, having a good time, being kind of loud and boisterous. And the owner goes to me, he goes, "Hey, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to run a restaurant here. If you want to be a stand-up comedian, you can do it on your own time." I was like, "Maybe I will, Jerry." I still work there, so. One time we ran out of coffee and the manager told us to just sell people decaf and tell them it was regular, which is unacceptable because caffeine is a drug and you do not sell people fake drugs. You're gonna charge me $4 for shit-ass restaurant coffee and I find out it doesn't even have caffeine in it? I will stab someone as soon as I get a cup of coffee. I used to work at a sandwich place and I went to make this guy a sandwich one time and he goes, "Are you gonna wear gloves while you make that?" I was like, "Are you gonna wear gloves while you eat it?" What makes you think your hands are cleaner than mine? I work in a sanitary kitchen environment. You just came in here from the dirty outside world. And furthermore, what makes you think me wearing gloves would make me any less likely to stick my finger into my own butthole? I'm not saying I would do that. I'm just saying I would wear gloves. I used to work at this place called Rock Bottom Brewery. I hated working there because they had all these dumb rules you'd have to follow. Like whenever the phone would ring, you'd have to pick it up and go, "You've reached rock bottom." But I'd always get it wrong. I'd be like, "I've reached rock bottom." People would come in, they'd be like, "How's that new IPA on tap? Have you tried that?" I'd be like, "No, I haven't tried that new IPA on tap. I'm a recovering alcoholic. It ruined my life." They'd be like, "We're gonna go to a different bar." I quit drinking. I've been sober for a while, but people say that it doesn't count because I still smoke weed. But I don't think that's fair. Like, you can't even compare drinking alcohol with smoking marijuana. Like, I never shit my pants from smoking too much weed before. Because that's the test. That should be like the sobriety checkpoint. They should be like, have you been drinking? Yeah. Have you shit your pants? No. Well, then just fix that taillight. Most people drink because it enhances their social skills, and that works for me too. Drinking enhances my social skills too, but for me, it only works for like a 5-minute window of time. You know, like people would always come up to me and they'd be like, dude, you were so hammered last night. You made such an ass out of yourself. And I'd be like, yeah, but did you see me between 2:42 and 2:47 p.m.? I was charming as shit. I was mingling, respecting personal boundaries, peeing in the bathroom. Whenever I tell people I'm an alcoholic, they say, well, the important thing is that you're aware of it. Really? Is that the important thing? How could I not be aware of it? I've been to detox 3 times, okay? I'm aware of it. Going to detox 3 times is either a strikeout or a hat trick, depending on whether or not you're an optimist. One time I passed out in a Wendy's bathroom with a bottle of tequila, and they're like, you need to leave. You can't do that here. And I was like, what are you talking about? It says right here on the sign, restroom is for Patron use only. That one took you guys a minute. But I'm sober now. The hard thing about being sober is like it's hard to get laid when you're sober, you know, because like you have these mental blocks. Like you ask yourself these questions like, do I really want to sleep with this person? Is it really worth $100? I was having a cup of coffee with this woman one time, and she said, I only have 2 criteria for dating. You have to have a job, and you can't live with your parents. I was like, I have a job, and I don't live with my parents. And she's like, yeah, but still. I told a woman I was in love with her one time, and she said, you don't know what love is. And that made me really upset, and it wasn't just because of the rejection. It was the fact that she stole that line from the movie Forrest Gump. And I was like, oh yeah, well, life is like a box of chocolates. See, I can quote movies too. And I was like, can we at least go out on a date or something? And she said no, and I was like, you're killing me, Smalls. I was hanging out with my ex-girlfriend recently, like, she's in town and we're still friends and everything, and she told me that she's getting married, and, like, I'm not upset about it, like, I'm happy, you know, I'm not jealous or whatever, but the only thing is, like, the guy's name is Anders. Isn't that a little on the nose? That's just me with an S. My name's Andrew. Remember? It's on the poster. But I'm seeing someone now. It's going really well. Her name is Catheriners. She's really smart. She's an entrepreneur. She has her own line of medical supplies, Catheriners catheters. If it ain't Catheriners, don't put it in your urethra. You might have heard it on the radio, the advertisement. I have really small feet. Look at these little fuckers. They're like hooves. It's a size 7Y. The Y stands for youth. That means you can't even get them in the fucking store. You gotta go to the kids section. People go, oh, since you have small feet, does that also mean that you have a small... Yes, it does. I mean, it doesn't mean that. I just have small feet and I also happen to have a small penis. It's a correlation, not a cause and effect relationship. One time I was laying in bed with this girl, and she goes, I don't understand how a guy can spoon with a girl and not get a boner. I was like, I do have a boner. So, I think I get my sense of humor from my dad. He has a big dick. But the thing about... Don't look at him after I said that, you guys. It's already uncomfortable enough. We don't all need to look at him. I was helping my dad do some yard work, and he rented this wood chipper, and there's an emergency kill switch on the wood chipper that you can hit, like, in case somebody gets their arm caught in it, to shut it off. And we decided that we should have a safe word to let the other guy know in case that happens, so he can shut it off. And this is what we decided on.
Protect me and look out for me! What are you doing?
Either that or Omaha. I was watching porn, and one of the categories was mature. And I clicked on one of the videos, and it was just this old lady having sex with 4 guys. I'm like, oh yeah, real mature. This is so fun, man. You guys are so much fun. It's so great to see all these people here tonight, and it just makes me realize that everyone in here could not afford Nate Bargatze tickets, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that. It's a lot more fun than a couple years ago, being locked down in a pandemic quarantine. There was nothing to do to entertain yourself. The only thing you could do is go for a walk through the neighborhood and roast the houses as you walk by, nice siding, you piece of shit. Who did your landscaping? Helen Keller? And you check out all the shitty books in the little free libraries. Don't they have the worst books in the little free libraries? People always take the good ones and then they replace them with shitty ones. I'll take this copy of Slaughterhouse-5 and replace it with this expired coupon book. Take this copy of Romeo and Juliet and replace it with an owner's manual from an '89 Corolla. I used to live in Minneapolis when all the protests were happening and everything. There's a liquor store by my house that got completely looted. They took every single item in the entire liquor store. Do you guys realize what that means? That means that somebody got home after a long night of getting shot with rubber bullets and tear gas and all that shit, and then they get home and it's fuck, it's O'Doul's. I looted non-alcoholic beer. I'm the worst looter ever. I like watching the protests on Unicorn Riot. If you don't know what that is, it's this underground independent journalism that you can watch on YouTube. And the best part is that literally anybody can get on camera and speak into the microphone in front of thousands of people. This one guy got on there and he just goes, yeah, hi, I just wanted to say to my substitute teacher who said I would never be on television, fuck you! Your substitute teacher? How did that even come up? All right, we're gonna watch a movie on the TV that you'll never be on, kid in the back row with the blue t-shirt. I don't think 420 should be the weed holiday, you know? Like they say that 420 is the best time to get stoned. 420 in the afternoon? Fuck that, I'm not waiting that long. The weed holiday should be November 15th, 11:15 a.m., right after I wake up. That's the best time to get high. 420 is the best time to get high again. I don't know if you knew this, but April 20th is Adolf Hitler's birthday. Why did we let the Nazis pick the weed holiday? That doesn't make any sense. You can't be a stoner Nazi. You hate atheists, Jews, brown people, and homosexuals. Where are you going to find any good weed? Kind of split the room a little bit on that one. I mean, I didn't expect that joke to crush in Madison, I'm not going to lie. Because they're a little sensitive sometimes. You guys like my outfit? Think I look pretty sharp, you know? I got the jacket here with the buttons on it, right? And then if I lose one of the buttons, I just reach in my pocket here, and I have some weed that I can smoke. So that way, I don't get sad about the whole button situation. Here you go, man. Thanks for coming out tonight. You can light it up and pass it around. They're cool. They don't care. Yeah. I checked with them ahead of time. It's cool. I saw guys wearing a t-shirt that said, "Boobies make me smile." And I thought it'd be funny if there was a comma after the word boobies, because then it would be like a command. I noticed that like the wimpiest sports have the toughest slogans on their t-shirts. Like I saw this guy was wearing a t-shirt that said, "Pain is just a state of mind. Middleton JV cross country." Next thing you know, it's going to be like, "We killed your grandmother, Verona Chess Club." I used to play hockey when I was in high school. Like, my coach was such a dick. He used to yell the dumbest shit at us while we were conditioning. He'd shoot pucks at us, and he'd be like, "You guys need to get more fire in your bellies. New Richmond's got fire in their bellies. You need to get more fire in your bellies than they got in their bellies." He died from acid reflux. I like wrestling, but like if wrestling was real, I don't think that the announcers would be so carefree and whimsical in their reactions. I saw a guy just get smacked across the face with a metal chair, and the announcer just goes, "Oh, looks like he's gonna be eating soup for the next couple weeks." I want to see an NFL announcer react that way sometime. See a guy getting hauled off in a stretcher like, "Ooh, I sure hope he likes shit and blood. Ay, chihuahua. I hope that man's an organ donor, because he's gonna die." The thing that sucks about doing comedy on the road is like you have to eat a lot of your meals at gas stations. Like I ordered this breakfast sandwich one time, and the clerk behind the counter gave it to me, and she goes, "Well, at least it's toasty." I was like, "Why'd you say at least?" What's wrong with it? Is it just overpriced, or is it gonna make me sick? I need to know what's going on here. And then the sign by the pizza said, "You won't believe it's really pizza." I was like, "I don't believe it's really pizza." One time the lodging accommodations for the comedians was they had us stay at a drug and alcohol rehab facility. Isn't that crazy? Can you believe that? Have you guys heard of this place? It's in Austin, Texas. It's called the Extended Stay America Inn and Suites. I highly recommend staying there. It's a great place if you want to eat your continental breakfast oatmeal out of a styrofoam cup while two of the guests ask if they can borrow tinfoil from the front desk and a dog takes a shit in the lobby. All true things that happened while I was there. There was a crack pipe in my room sitting right by the coffee machine, and I was like surprised because they didn't even have that listed under the amenities on Expedia. I did a show at this place called the Cuckoo's Nest, and you know, it's weird, like comedy clubs always have names like that, like the Cuckoo's Nest or the Looney Bin or the Crazy House or whatever. Next weekend I'm performing at the Dane County Mental Health Center Inpatient Treatment Facility. It's a residency. Mandatory residency. I saw a bumper sticker that said, commit random acts of kindness. You know, like random acts of violence, except with kindness. So I went to the store and I bought 13 bottles of ketchup and I gave them to the next person I saw. And I thought to myself, now that's pretty fucking random. One time I was walking past a cop and I was like, look at me, I'm a stupid cop. I think I'm cool because I get to wear a badge and write out speeding tickets. And he arrested me. I was like, what are you arresting me for? He goes, impersonating a police officer. That joke has never gotten applause. Not once. I took one of those online personality quizzes to find out which one of the Simpsons I would be. I got OJ. Milhouse was a good guess, though, guy who yelled that out. I was watching this show called Deadliest Warrior. It's a show about who would win in a fight between different historical warriors. And there was a Japanese samurai weapons expert on the show who said that the samurai sword, the katana, was the deadliest weapon ever created by mankind. But if you'd ask most Japanese people, this side of the room is way cooler than this side. Did you intentionally sit all the tight-ass people over? This side's like, hell yeah. This side's like, that's not funny. I had to get a new phone case for my cell phone. I hate going to the Verizon store because they always try to upsell you, you know, it's so annoying. Like the guy's like, all right, do you want a case that's more protective or less protective? I was like, less. I want the cheapest piece of shit phone case you have. Do you have one that'll make it more breakable, actually? Something loosely woven together out of papyrus and wet oatmeal? Do you have something that will systematically inject the phone with tiny droplets of water over time so that when I bring it in and you ask me if there's any water damage, I can be like, you bet your sweet fucking tits there's water damage, and it's all my fault. I had to go to the hospital because I was coughing up blood, and why is that funny? Seriously? I mean, you can laugh at whatever you want. That's a weird thing to laugh at. That's all I'm saying. So I get there and the nurse goes, all right, do you want to take off your pants and jeans? I was like, my pants and jeans? And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. I was like, no, you didn't. That's not what backwards means. Like, I don't want a nurse who doesn't know what backwards means. And my mom was there, and she's like, Andy's a comedian, which is her code word for asshole. They told me I had a gas-forming bacteria in my throat. They're like, it's the same bacteria that lives in your colon that makes you fart. Basically, you have a fart in your throat. I'm like, do you even work here? What the fuck? What the fuck kind of thing is that for a health professional to say to a patient? I was a philosophy major, and there's this thought experiment in ethics where you have to imagine that there's a train going down a track. There's 5 people tied to the track, but there's a lever that you can pull that will divert the train to a different track where only one person is tied up. And your only 2 options are to let the train go straight or to pull the lever. So most people would say that the morally correct decision in this situation would be to pull the lever so that only one person dies instead of 5. But what if you switch it up a little bit? What if the 5 people tied to the track are Adolf Hitler, Osama bin Laden, Jeffrey Dahmer, and 2 more Hitlers. But then tied to the other track is Blippi. That's a tough one. I don't know. I think you just let the train go straight and take out the Hitlers and stab Blippi. When I was a kid, we were playing Truth or Dare. We were 12, and it was my turn, and I got a dare. And my dare was to moon the next car that drove by. But I didn't want to do it because, you guys, what if it's a cop, My friend was like, Andy, the chances of it being a cop are probably 1 in a billion. And I think even at that age, he probably should have had a little better grasp of probability. Because that would mean that there's 8 cops in the entire world, and one of them was his dad. So there's a car coming, and I'm like, is it a cop? He goes, no, it's not a cop. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yes, I'm positive. So I go out there in the street, I bend over, I pull down my pants, and he goes, Andy, it's a cop. And I go, ha ha, very funny, Grant. And then I see the cherries flashing on the retaining wall behind me, and I turn around and I see the cop, and I immediately just start crying like a little bitch. And the cop takes me and he puts me in the car and he goes, why'd you moon me? I go, I didn't know you were a cop. And he goes, you know something? You're lucky I turned out to be a police officer. And I don't think lucky is the word I would use to describe it. Lucky would be if it wasn't a cop or a pedophile. Those aren't the only 2 options. Lucky would be if it turned out to be Wayne Gretzky or some shit. Not a cop. I went up north fishing, and it was a late, cold winter, so it delayed the ice thaw. And I don't know if you guys knew this about walleye, but they have this defense mechanism where if they feel like they are being threatened, they will ejaculate all over your jacket. I found that out the hard way. I caught a fish and I went to pull it out of the net, and like it delayed the spawning season for the walleye. So like this guy just had a full load ready to go, and he just starts spraying all over the boat, all over me, all over everywhere. A load which is bigger than anything I've produced in my entire life, and I've had some pretty good ones. I'm not trying to brag or anything. And my friends are all laughing and everything. They're like, "Oh my God, that's so funny. You got to do a stand-up bit about that." I'm like, I'm not going to do a stand-up bit about that. That's not going to be relatable to the audience. Like, you know when you go fishing, they're like, "Yeah, you know when the fish ejaculates on you?" They're like, "No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with that part of it." I like the oldies station, but like sometimes the songs don't age very well. Like I heard this one song where the guy goes, "You're 16, you're beautiful, and you're mine." They never say how old the guy is. "I'm friends with your dad. I'm 47. Don't tell anybody." And then there's one song where the guy goes, "Do you love me now that I can dance?" But then his only examples of that he knows how to dance are that he can do the twist and the mashed potato. Is that changing anyone's mind? Like, I know you didn't think I was sexy before, but check this shit out. Well, there's one song where they go, "If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends." Who's that a deal breaker for? Twist my arm, why don't you? I like Outcasts, but I never know what they're talking about in their songs. I heard this one song where the guy goes, "I let my nuts hang down to the floor, man." Are you sure that's something you want to brag about? Do people find that attractive? Oh my God, I went home with James the other night. He is so cute. He's got the saggiest balls I've ever. And he just lets them do that. Like, he doesn't try to harness them or anything. So hot. One time I did that joke at a show and there was a sign language interpreter. And I learned that the sign for saggy balls is this. I went to a show recently. It was the Indigo Girls with Melissa Etheridge as the opener. The music was great. The line for the men's room was non-existent. My favorite song of all time is Chantilly Lace by the Big Bopper. If any of you guys don't know, it's this song where like the whole time the Big Bopper is having this like one-sided Bob Newhart style phone conversation with his date. Like he picks up the phone and he goes, "Hello, babe. This is the Big Bopper speaking. Pick you up at 8 and don't be late." "Do I what? Will I what? Oh, baby, you know what I like. But what I want to know is, what was she saying on the other end of that phone conversation? Do you want to just put on this Richard Nixon mask and hit me with a shovel? Do I? What? Do you want to just talk with a Russian accent and piss all over my couch? Will I? What? Please just do. We can order pizza afterwards. You know what I like. You won't see that shit at the Nate Bargatze show. All right, so the way that I like to end my show is I just have a couple quick stories that I want to tell you, and they don't actually have anything to do with each other, except for the fact that they all involve me getting handcuffed without my consent. So the first time I was 18 and my friends and I went to visit one of our friends who was working in one of the stores at the Maplewood Mall, and they had these like clear plastic inflatable cube things that they were putting signs in as a display for the store. And my buddies and I, we stole one of these things and we put a Playboy cover inside of it, and we took off our shirts and videotaped ourselves playing volleyball with it in the wishing well fountain. I don't know if you guys were wondering what happens if you take off your shirt and videotape yourself playing porn cube volleyball in the wishing well fountain at Maplewood Mall, but it's that you get banned from the mall for 1 year. Do you guys realize what that means? It means you can do that once every year. And I know that's a stupid thing to do and everything, but like I don't think the mall cop had to be such a dick about it. Like he threw me in mall jail and he slapped these handcuffs on me super tight. And I was like, oh dude, that hurts my fucking wrist. And he goes, that's right, I'll hurt your fucking wrists. I'll hurt your fucking ass. He actually said that to me. And then he smacked me in the side of the forehead really hard. And he got mad at me because I didn't have my ID on me at the time. And he didn't believe that I was 18 years old. He's like, you look like you're 12 years old. I was like, really? Do you always strike 12-year-olds in the head and threaten to fuck them in the ass? So the second time, that I was handcuffed without my consent, this is when I was living in Madison, and I was at a little place called Visions. You guys remember that place? I was drinking out of the bar, and I ran into this guy I like barely knew from one of my classes, and he talked me into going there. And we get there, and we're just like drunk off our ass. And all of a sudden, the announcer goes, "Can we have Andrew come to the stage, please?" That's my name. Remember we talked about this earlier? And the announcer goes, "Andrew, if you don't come up here, somebody else will." And I look at my buddy, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I don't know, I guess you better go up there. So I get there, and it turns out that this dude who I barely knew ended up paying the establishment a bunch of money to bring me up on stage, sit me down in this chair, handcuff my hands behind my back around the stripper pole, and they rip off my shirt and the elastic on my underpants, and they rip off my belt and start beating me with it. And every time they would hit me with it, it would make a loud cracking noise, and there would be a big purple welt across my chest, and there would be an eruption of applause from all the creepers in the audience. And then they did this thing where they started stacking all three dancers one on top of each other, and the one on top started smashing her vagina in my face, and it smelled like she'd been working a long shift. So the third time, like a couple years ago, my girlfriend and I were house sitting for my parents. So we were living in Minneapolis, and my parents live in Hudson, Wisconsin, which is right across the border. And they live out in the country, and we got there, and it was late at night, and the driveway was all full of snow. So we're like, let's just park the car out on the road, and we'll snow blow the driveway in the morning, right? So the next morning, the neighbors saw the car parked out on the road with the out-of-state license plates, and they knew that my parents were out of town, and they didn't think that anybody was supposed to be there. So they called the cops on us because they thought that we were robbing the place. And the cops got there, and I opened the door, and the cop smelled weed smoke in the house, and he handcuffed me and arrested me for possession of THC and THC paraphernalia. He confiscated my grinder. He said that was paraphernalia. You can't smoke weed out of a grinder. That's fucking stupid. It's not paraphernalia, just anything that's vaguely associated with pot. Are you going to take my lighter too? You might as well take my lava lamps and my Sublime CDs while you're there. He goes, do you have a criminal record? I was like, I don't know, just like underage drinking and disorderly conduct when I was in college. He goes, oh, so like normal stuff? I was like, yeah, normal stuff. You know, like smoking weed at your house. So he takes me to jail. He's making small talk with me in the car. He goes, what does your girlfriend do for a living? I go, she hosts online trivia. He goes, oh, I've never heard of that. I'm like, well, there's a shocker. You seem like you're so in touch with what the kids are doing. So I get to jail, and the new cop is taking my fingerprints, and he goes, what are you here for? I go, smoking weed at my parents' house? He goes, seriously? I go, yeah. He goes, what the fuck? I'm like, I know, right? Even your own guy knows how fucking stupid this is. Neighbors call in a wellness check. You go and see that we're well and then decided to change that. I'm sorry, I like to smoke weed and watch documentaries. Does that make me a bad person? I just learn a bunch of shit and then I forget it and then I watch it again. Fucking cop comes into my house in the middle of a pandemic without a mask on. You're gonna expose me to a deadly virus just to save me from marijuana? Does that sound fucking stupid to anyone else? You guys have been unbelievable. I love you all.